against U Mumba. Puneri Paltan in a couple of days, that's a biggie. And then the Bengaluru Bulls, which will be the final day in Panchkula and also the final game of the league stage. First up, it's going to be U Mumba for their first appearance in the hub of Kabaddi.
Ladies and gentlemen, they are the Mumbaikars and they are here to rule. Please welcome U Mumba!
U Mumba, it's been a tough season for them. Unfortunately, won't be a part of the playoffs in Hyderabad. They had a great first month or so, but it's been a horrid time in Jan and Feb. Haven't been able to find a single win in 2024. It's been that kind of a 45-day journey for them. Storied team with a rich legacy, champions in season 2, runners-up in 1 and 3, and they've been in the playoffs a couple of times as well. And that is why this season will be a tough one to swallow. A Dream 11 starting 7. Guman Singh is back. That's the big news for U Mumba. Gokula Kannan and Mahendra Singh in the covers. And Ali Reza Mirzain and Rohit Yadav as the two complementing raiders to Guman Singh. So there's no Zafar Danish in the starting 7, and that is news. Bittu and Sombir as the two corners. Make your own team. And the main man, Guman Singh, is back. You might want to have him for sure. And in front of them are the home team. Fresh from a spot in the playoffs, Manpreet Singh and the Haryana Steelers.
Ladies and gentlemen, these boys mean business. Please welcome your home team, Haryana Steelers.
We are Haryana Steelers. खेड़ी देसी रॉक बात वो डरा की आ जाता है वो डरा की आ जाता न देन में जवानी मारी पावे तू फ्रंट पे
Honey Singh in the house, the Haryana Steelers, the home team, fresh off a victory last evening, fresh off a qualification spot. You see Siddharth Desai there looking on, which means presumably he's not going to start the game. 4 wins in their last 5. Coach Manpreet Singh on a high, the defense doing phenomenally well. Let's see what they have in store for us today. This is the Dream 11 starting 7. Shivam Patare, the X Factor, Ghanshyam Magar, Vishal Tate, that's new. Sunny Sarawat, we've seen him earlier. Harsh Monu Hooda, Naveen Kundu, completely revamped. Jaideep Daya, Mohit Nandal are both in the substitutes. Hassan Balbul, who we saw for a bit, is in the substitutes. That's very interesting. Make your own team. Guman Singh back after quite a few games, fresh off an injury. He's had a great season, unfortunately couldn't continue.
Player to watch out for is also the skipper of the Haryana Steelers. 60 tackle points. He's been solid in defense. Jaideep Dahya. U Mumba are in this. Oh my goodness! Oh, the fourth tie of season 10, and this has been an absolute humdinger.
A very different looking Haryana Steelers from the one we saw last evening take on a different looking U Mumba from ones we've seen, from the ones plural that we've seen earlier. Now, since season 7, it's 3 each to these two. Also, Rishank Devadiga, our expert in the pre-game show, has picked U Mumba to win this one. Regardless, the Haryana Steelers, if they win this, dislodge the Patna Pirates and go to number 4 on the points table. That undeniably is a psychological boost.
They can go to as high as number 3, Bridge. The Haryana Steelers, they still have 3 games in hand. They can go above the Bang Delhi KC. And that's why interesting times for the home team. For U Mumba though, it's been a really tough time for coach Ghulam Reza Mazadarani.
And his face says it all, man, Navneet.
Absolutely. 12 matches, they haven't found a single win. 10 losses, 2 ties. They haven't won in 2024, Bridge. They haven't won a single game in this year so far. That's not great news at all. Only the 6 wins this season for U Mumba. And even the toss goes to the Steelers. First up, U Mumba to raid.
Haryana, are you ready for the action? Line drawn, game on, Khel Kabaddi.
कबड्डी 9 कबड्डी 8 कबड्डी 7 कबड्डी 6 कबड्डी 5 कबड्डी 4 कबड्डी 3 कबड्डी 2 कबड्डी 1 कबड्डी.
All right, can U Mumba bow out with the final couple of hurrahs? This is their second last game of this season. They lost Guman Singh for a while due to injury, and that definitely told on their fortunes. Looks for a bonus straight up. He's had a really good season, has Guman Singh. But begins, unfortunately, not the way we are used to seeing him. Well, he does have a bonus first up.
Yeah, much like yesterday, Bridge. It will just take us a little bit of time to understand some of the newer faces on the mat, on more on the side of the Steelers, really. But Guman Singh, not a good welcome back to the Kabaddi mat for him.
No, U Mumba, unfortunately, that's a bonus there, looks like.
No bonus.
No bonus there. For a while, no Guman, no Rinku, they lost him due to injury. Zafar Danesh had an injury on the way. That really told on them.
That was pretty much all of Jan, Bridge. You still remember the time they enjoyed that 5-match winning streak in December, and that went into their home leg in Bombay as well. Then they lost to the Jaipur Pink Panthers by 10 points, and it's never been the same ever since.
You know, that 5-match winning streak was when we had suddenly in the com box looked at U Mumba as a team that could go the distance. Luckily for the U Mumba defense there, he stepped out of bounds earlier, Ghanshyam Magar, before he went across the midline. U Mumba, when the season began, was not being given a chance by anybody. And then suddenly it looked like they were punching far above their weight.
They were. It was a wonderful passage of play they were enjoying. And honestly, there you go. Ghanshyam, without a touch, goes into the lobby.
1 point each.
A point each. In fact, I correct myself. They did have one win in 2024. It was against the Bulls, 40-35. And this was the time when Zafar Danish was really at the peak of his powers early on in the season, when teams hadn't figured him out.
Fitter out.
That was Ali Reza Mirzain.
Haryana Steelers.
The home team have plenty of support. They always do, the Steelers. Look at that. It's Mono from the right corner. Swoops in.
Are there some U Mumba supporters in there? This is the recap of the last time these two teams met. Ended in a tie. There were a few familiar faces in there. Surinder, Sombir, Zafar Danish, none of whom we're seeing today.
They obviously started the season with a very experienced defensive unit, and we kept saying that it's a young raiding department, but a far more experienced defensive department. But it's the injuries to the Raiders and just lack of form for the defenders that really did them in.
Bonus point to U Mumba.
But, you know, if you were to look at the positives to come out of this season for U Mumba, what would you look at?
I think Zafar Danish for sure.
Guman Singh.
Yeah, it's Guman Singh. Guman Singh found some great form, and honestly, when he was enjoying that wonderful purple patch of his, it's probably the best of Guman Singh that we've ever seen. That is great from Shivam Patare. Talking about young Raiders doing well. He's certainly a bright spot this season, Shivam Patare.
No, very smart of Coach Manpreet Singh to play him this evening. Because last evening, Shivam Patare didn't really, do what his coach expected him to do. This is a slightly inexperienced defense for U Mumba. Shivam Patare has a great opportunity to get into some sort of form here.
Fitter out.
Once again, a double ankle hold from the Steelers. Was that from the left corner? It was.
It's Naveen Kundu, I think. Ghanshyam Magar takes Mahender off the mat, and suddenly U Mumba are in familiar territory. They are down to 2 men.
There you go. Good to see Mahender. Well, he tried everything that he could, but just the strong legs of Ghanshyam Magar. Now they're down to 2. Guman Singh. Oh, just too strong. The second best defensive unit this season, the Steelers.
Even though they're not playing with their top defenders, there's no Jaideep, there's no Mohit Nandal, there's no Mohit on the left corner.
All out. 1 plus 2, 3 points. Haryana Steelers.
It hasn't taken too long for the Steelers to inflict that first all-out. You only get one chance to build a dream home, but Kabaddi will give you many more chances. 5 minutes into this game. Early lead here for the Steelers. A 6-point lead now. 10-4.
Navneet, this has to be asked. Now, U Mumba have been money balling. They've been trying this money ball strategy. Younger, inexperienced, fresher players for a while, Navneet. But it hasn't really paid them dividends.
Fitter out.
Is this something they should be re-looking at come next season?
Yeah, it's a different strategy, right? Because even at the start of the season, we did say that expect the unexpected from this U Mumba setup. We didn't know what was coming. It was, like we mentioned, a young team, particularly in Raid. There he is, Coach Manpreet Singh, now coach of the Steelers, champion with the Patna Pirates in Season 3. And then coach of the Gujarat Giants, took them to the playoffs in Season 5, 6 and 8. He knows a thing or two about being in the knockout stages of a PKL season. And there they are once again. Last night confirmed their spot after that win against the Patna Pirates. Just coming back to what you were saying. In some sense, we didn't know what to expect from the U Mumba team. And many ways, the oppositions didn't know what to expect as well. And the likes of Zafar Danish, it was probably the first time they were all seeing him. Really swift on the mat, very light-footed. And then he went off the boil a little bit. Zafar Danish, was it because there was video footage? Teams figured him out? Because he was breathtaking to watch in December at least. And then the injuries that hit U Mumba, Guman Singh and Zafar Danish. But you look at the representation, right? It's interesting, and honestly, it's tough to say, but there's a lot of Iranian presence, a lot of South Indian presence, so even in terms of the combination, it's a little different to some of the other teams, you'd say.
1 point, U Mumba.
But the question
Jersey
here
number
is,
99 out.
is it a lack of experience, a lack of maturity that has hurt them not just this season, but season after season after season?
You know what, honestly, Ridge, I'm trying to figure out how we can say lack of maturity, because Surinder Singh, Mahendra Singh, Rinku and Girish Sharma. Now, if we talk about those 4 defensive positions, collectively, they may be the most experienced defensive unit in the entire
point,
league.
Haryana Steelers.
If you just look at the number of matches played between the 4 of them, right? So I think there's a wealth of experience in that team. Yes, it's a young raiding unit. They have a whole bunch of other youngsters. The ones from South India are all really young. So is Zafar Danish. But it's an interesting combination coming together, right? The coach is Iranian. The players from all around the country. And that's why we didn't know what to expect from this team.
All right, you spoke of those 4 men in defense with a, wealth of collective experience. Now, the thing is that is a super aggressive defensive combination. There is a school of thought which would say, then it is up to the coach to keep them in check. U Mumba is one of those defenses that has given away more points in defense than they have actually. Do you think it's a communication issue between coach and player?
Yeah, I don't know if I can comment on that. It's tough to say, but yes, they are aggressive by nature. When it comes off, they're just breathtaking to watch. The likes of Surinder, Girish Sharma in that left corner, even Rinku. But when some of your experienced campaigners don't perform, that's when it becomes really hard for the team, right? So, oh, this could be a big one. Or is he taken down?
1, 2.
They're counting.
1,
They're counting.
2.
What a raid from Rohit Yadav.
3 points.
That's a
U Mumba.
fantastic super raid. The Haryana Steelers are staring at an all-out because they're suddenly down to 2. Fantastic jump from Rohit Yadav. And a lack of experience from a raw Haryana Steelers defense. But listen, these 2 teams playing against each other. You're speaking of defensive combinations. Rahul Setpal last season was playing right corner for U Mumba.
Bonus point.
He had 16 points. We'll come back to that in a bit, because I think it's time for our first Patanjali special Chavanprash strategic timeout. This game is actually really interesting. It's set up for a very, very interesting rest of the game.
अब सुन मेरी बात, क्लोज ले लेना, एक ही मौका मिलेगा। ठीक है, बेटे एक ही मौका मिलेगा, ठीक है, चूकना नहीं है, ठीक है ना, पीछे आना, लाइन आउट नहीं होना है, जब भी क्लोज रहना है, लेफ्ट का हो, राइट का हो, कार्रवाई तेरे को करनी है, और एक आदमी जाकर 2 नहीं जाएंगे, ओके? और हाँ, कोई बात नहीं, लेनी है पूरी, क्लोज रहना, क्लोज, विशाल है, यहाँ, अगर कैच नहीं हुई ना, तो पहले बोनस लेंगे फिर टच मारना, कैच नहीं हुई तो पहले बोनस लेंगे फिर टच मारना, खाली नहीं उड़ना, यहीं खड़ा हो जा। किसकी जगह घनश्याम की जगह ले लेंगे, आहो घनश्याम की जगह ले लेंगे बेटे, लेफ्ट का एक।
All right, coming out of the Patanjali special Chavanprash, a strategic timeout. And this is just 9 days away. Eliminator number 1. All 6 teams have punched their tickets. This remains to be seen. The Patna Pirates were on 4. Do they slide down this evening? The 26th of February. That's when it begins. My heart is already racing, Navneet.
Just a little over a week for the all-important playoffs. And there he is, Coach Ram Meher. The Giants will be in action in just a while from now, taking on the Yodhas.
You know what? The Gujarat Giants could actually meet the Haryana Steelers in an eliminator game, man.
Yeah, the permutations and combinations, though, are aplenty between 3, 4, 5 and 6, including Dabang Delhi and the Steelers. Now, super tackle opportunity for the Steelers, but they'll have to deal with the ever-so-talented Guman Singh. Which way is he going? Oh, brilliant.
1 point. U Mumba.
Very nice peddling back.
Guman and Aslam Inamdar are probably the two players who have the best escape that close to the
Haryana
lobby line.
Steelers, 30
Look at that.
22 in.
They don't try anything fancy. So coming back to, what we were speaking of, if you look at Rahul Setpal, right corner, U Mumba, last season, 16 points. Haryana Steelers this season, 62 tackle points.
And he isn't done yet. Vishal with a sensational dubki. And guess what?
Haryana Steelers.
It's a super raid. A super effort from Vishal. Look at him go below the defense.
What a time for a player fresh off the bench to be making a name. Goes under Mahender, completely bamboozles him, and outfoxes the rest. Now Guman Singh has managed to push all three of them to one side of the mat. A rock super tackle opportunity is on again. Oh, will they bring up? Gave him the assist. Why didn't they give him the assist?
U Mumba. Jersey number
I think there was
99.
enough time for Vishal and Ghanshyam to get in there. Guman Singh won't be complaining though.
Yeah, I think he got away with that one.
Look at that. That was a good 2 seconds. Vishal's been impressive though. 7 from 7. 100% strike rate. And he's not done.
Let him save.
I think he has two more
1
here.
point. Haryana Steelers. Jersey number
A
11.
bonus and a point.
Wow, this is mighty impressive.
Yeah.
I'll
and a
tell
big-
you what. I wonder what's going on in the minds of Shivam, Siddharth Desai and Vinay. Like, listen, Vishal, don't outdo us. We still want to play.
But you can see the big boys enjoying
Very
it
good.
from the
Bonus plus 2
stands.
points.
It's a
Haryana Steelers.
super raid. He has 2 touches and a bonus. Vishal Tate suddenly has raced away to a super 10. And we are not done. I mean, we're nowhere close to being done with the first half.
We're literally 12 and a half minutes into this game and he's gotten a super 10 from 8 efforts. That is special. And this Steelers team, they're really kicking on
Haryana
here.
Steelers.
But they were down to 2. I mean, they're back up to 5 before you can say Vishal Tate.
Naveen Kundu once again. Look at the number of tackle points U Mumba have gotten so far in this game. Bridge, for me that's the biggest letdown with such an experienced unit. Yes, I'm not talking about the same unit that's on the mat today, but it's the defense that have let them down all through the season. But going back to the Rahul Setpal incident, the story.
No, so I'm saying it stems from other communication issues, coach to player.
But it's hit and miss, I feel, sometimes when you let go of a player because of non-performance, but then they move to another franchise and they just turn it around. You can't see that coming. Let me put it this way. 16 points for a right corner. Would you let that person go or no? Most people will. Right? But
Bonus point to U
it is
Mumba.
what it is. Now look at the case of Surjit Singh, for example. His season started really poorly for the Bengaluru Bulls.
99 in.
Out of nowhere, he turns it around. And so sometimes you can get this wrong. It's hit and miss, truth be told.
All right, I'll tell you what. Agreed. That's Rahul Setpal, for example. Vishal just carrying on his merry way here, and suddenly the shoe is on the other foot. U Mumba staring at an all-out, and that
1 point. Haryana
difference,
Steelers. Jersey number 99 out.
almost double in score.
Substitution U Mumba.
And he's a big unit,
17
Rich.
He's big.
He's big,
And
he's
Manpreet Singh
strong.
likes it. Even earlier this evening in the pre-game show, he was asked questions about his raiding department. You know what he said? He said the smallest arrow makes the deepest wound. He said, I don't have a single...
Raider out.
That's it.
Bonus point U Mumba. All out. 1 plus 3
That
points.
is an all-out.
Steelers.
You get one chance to build a dream home, but the game of Kabaddi gives you many chances, just like it's giving U Mumba here.
All in U Mumba.
Yeah, the body language suggests
Substitution.
not just
U Mumba.
how they fared in this
99
game,
out.
but the
17.
season that has been for U Mumba. They look a little flat as far as the body language is concerned.
Dispirited, man.
It is a long season, and when you're out of the race well in advance, it can be tough to just stay in the game. But it's also an opportunity to make a mark for a lot of the youngsters, much like what Vishal is doing. Another error from Sombir here. He was in fact going out and reaching out for the raider. Wait for the raider to come.
Jersey number 44 out.
All right. Let's pick another player. Jai Bhagwan. He's been given enough opportunities, but he's flattered to deceive. This season, there were games when it almost looked like he wasn't thinking clearly enough. How long, my question is, how
1
long
point U Mumba.
can U Mumba
Jersey number
afford
99 out.
to persist with this strategy, with the Moneyball strategy, because they're legion of fans, and they have a legion of fans. And if you look at social media, they're starting to get very, very unhappy.
They'll be happy with this tackle though, and look who has to get in
Bonus
there.
point, Haryana
Guman
Steelers.
Singh
1 point
from the
U
left
Mumba.
in position goes in with the first contact on that ankle hold. But the bonus does go to Vishal, who's just unstoppable today.
1 point U Mumba.
There's something about him, Vishal Tate.
Wait.
That day, yes.
14 points in 12 raids. So we'll come back to the U Mumba conversation. But performances like this, will it give Manpreet Singh something to think about come the playoffs?
It'd make him very, very happy. You know, he was saying that in the pre-game show. Once again, he was asked about his Raiders, and he said, I don't have a single star Raider. But he said, when my defense is giving me the points it is, then I need about 14. I need 12 to 15 points from my Raiders, and my Raiders are giving me 20 plus every game, and that's enough for me. He says, there's always, he said, every single game, I've had one Raider who's put his hand up and gotten me points, like Siddharth decided last evening.
Very hard to go into the knockouts through a long season if your defensive unit is not performing.
And the Haryana Steelers defensive unit, man, three defenders, Jaideep, Mohit Nandal, and on the right corner, Rahul Setpal. They have 60 plus points, 60 plus. And look, you know what? We've been saying maybe the only weak chink is the left corner, the other Mohit. He's got 42. That's absurd. You're talking of more than 220 odd points from the defense in this season.
Oh, he's got some nice shades there. I wonder if he needs it though at this time of the day, but it's looking pretty cool.
It's pretty chill.
Oh boy. And that's what it comes down to. And at the start of the season, you put a defensive unit that has the kind of experience that Mahinder, Surinder and Rinku and Girish have. It wouldn't have been a big surprise had they just really performed and they were very differently placed on the points table. What if they were in the top 4? And you'll say, yes, these guys are experienced defenders. It came off. But sometimes just when the big names don't perform, it makes it really hard for the coaching staff, the management. You can't fault the raiding department too much because Zafar, Guman, they did what they could do, but there wasn't support coming in.
I tell you what, in the meantime, Vishal Tate, while he's blazed his way to 13 points, Rohit Yadav hasn't been too bad for U Mumba on the other side of the mat either. That's his 6th point of the evening. Mark my words, U Mumba are still... Oh, he's out. He's off the mat. They've changed the decision around. You think U Mumba are still in the hunt as far as this game goes?
I'd love to see a difference in the body language for sure. At the moment, it does look tough, to be honest.
Yes, please. Leadership, how many points?
1 point. Okay. TV umpire. U Mumba challenge. Raider save 1 point. Our decision. Raider out. Please review.
Pretty straightforward. Is he safe or not? U Mumba insists he is. All good so far. Now, when the hand gets across the line, is there any part of his body that is on the mat? This looks like he's out of bounds. It looks like not only will they lose Rohit Yadav, they will also lose their review. This angle will tell us clearly. And now.
Okay, we just got to give this another view. Was he completely airborne and coming from the outside? I think it could be the case. I don't think there's contact with the orange part of the mat.
He wasn't airborne, but he was completely outside the lobby lines there. It should go the Haryana Steelers' way.
Yes. Okay. Review. Unsuccessful. Raider out. 1 point. Haryana Steelers. Captain, your use over. No more reviews.
And U Mumba finds something to bring them back into this game in the second half. Navneet and I in the comm box are in the middle of a fascinating conversation re U Mumba's money ball strategy, which we will continue in the second half.
No bonus.
But you have to, well, one thing that they do is definitely keep their eyes and ears open around the country for upcoming talent, and they do fancy the youngsters. That's a key part of, a key component of their team, just finding fresh talent from across the country. Rohit Yadav, Bridge, finalist at the Junior Nationals, captain of the Rajasthan team.
No bonus.
And you see a lot of the other younger folks who come into the team. Wonder if they'll go in with, continue with this strategy, keeping the long term in mind, back these boys, give them a longer rope. It's not that there is no experience on the mat, there is. Sometimes it's just coming well together.
No bonus.
And like you said, wonder if it's a communication issue, if that's something they need to worry about. Oh, he's got to go back and do that again, I think, Rohit Yadav.
Review मांग रहे. Yes.
Haryana Steelers have asked for a review. They weren't given a bonus on the last raid.
Review.
They asked for a review here.
Review चाहिए. Bonus है.
At the stroke of half-time. I like this attitude from the Haryana Steelers. Well, they've been given a bonus.
Half-time.
That
Change the
is
ball.
half-time. The score difference is exactly double. The Steelers leading by 15. Can U Mumba find it within themselves to give it one, well, second last push?
They have nothing to lose. Come out there and give it their all in the last 20, much like what this man has done, Vishal. 13 points, and he's been quite sensational from just 12 raids. Tough move off the first half. It has to be the headline of the match so far. Vishal, that was the bonus that he picked up. This was one of the two super raids that he picked up, and then that Tupki under Mahender was quite sensational, and Rohit Yadav didn't have enough to stop Vishal in his tracks. I'm just curious, in a sport like Kabaddi, obviously language is important. How many of them will be able to exactly understand what Ghulam Reza is saying?
Look, if you look at the games before this, all right, through the season, it was Surinder who was doing the translating for the rest of the team. But what I've got to ask you is, did Surinder understand what the coach was trying to tell him? We'll come back to that in the second half. The Gujarat Giants ready to take to the mat. They go up against the UP Yodhas. The UP Yoddhas obviously have bowed out. Sultan Fazal Atrachid, who's got a great equation going with coach Ram Meher, will be looking to hone his defense. This is how it stands. See you on the other side.
Sora wants to check. You can't. Usman, no play. Okay, let him 5 minutes more, no problem. Come on, want to come out? He's out. You out of him? You on bench or inside? Inside? You out? Okay. Okay, first Kokol and Goman out. What do you think? So, Bhagwan? Bhagwan in or Sorab? Which one?
I think Bhagwan in.
Yes, Shivansh coming inside, Gokul and Goman out, Bhagwan and Shivansh.
Arjun Deshwal, the raid machine. Jaydeep Dahiya for the Steelers. They're all going to be in action on the 19th. The Panthers versus Fazal's Giants. Jaydeep versus Shadlu's Paltan. Massive games coming up day after tomorrow. Fazal and the Giants will be in action tonight as well as they take on the Yoddhas, who have had it tougher than most teams this season. Way below par on what really looked like a star-studded team at the start of the season. The Yoddhas and the Giants will be in action. We still have 20 minutes left in this game though. At the moment, the Steelers are running right over U Mumba in front of their home crowd. They've inflicted 2 all-outs already. Defense of U Mumba just haven't come to the party. And in raid, Vishal Tate has been quite outstanding. Now, a few changes being made.
Well, hang on, if you're wondering how can 3 players be changed at the same time, there are essentially 5 coins that are given to each team, which means there can be substitutions made 5 times. It could be 1 player or it could be all 7, as many as are on the mat, which is why 3 teams. Now, the player we were speaking of, Navneet and I, just before the stroke of half-time, Jay Bhagwan, he's come in. See, the thing, Navneet, is...
Red out.
All right, the defense has come together.
1 point.
Can
U
this
Mumba.
be U Mumba's half? Right, so Navneet, we were saying, for example, if you look at Jay Bhagwan,
1 point.
the thing with the Moneyball team is you need players who you're going to sort of mold, right? Which means it's going to take time. What I'm saying? Do you see the core of this team being maintained for next season?
Oh, hold on, I'll come back to that.
Great!
Jai Bhagwan, sensational effort, he muscled through. Now we're counting bodies. 2, 3, maybe 4.
Redder safe, 2 points, U Mumba.
Oh! Is it just 2?
Listen, it looks like 4.
Okay.
That's 1. That's 2. Listen, there is a touch somewhere. But they don't have a review, Navneet.
I think that third touch was there.
Oh, they'll feel hard done by.
That third touch was there. It was only after that Jai Bhagwan went past the midline. Very tough. They don't have the review, U Mumba, so they'll only take the 2. Oh, that's tough. They'll take everything that comes their way. Just really hard, Rich. Just going back to your question, will they continue?
All right, listen. I have to sort of qualify this.
Sorry, before you go on, Rob super tackle opportunity here for the Steelers. 1-on-3. We haven't seen a super tackle in this game. Jai Bhagwan won't allow that.
Right, so
1
I have
point
to
U
qualify
Mumba.
this.
Jersey
Just as
number
you
11
come
out.
across as having a personal stake in the Bengaluru Bulls every time they play, it's that way with me for U Mumba. I am someone who's very, very interested in this team. I'm saying that, yes, I'm a commentator. We're supposed to remain neutral, etc. But this is where I'm from. And I love these boys. I'm saying, do you see the core of this team being retained next season?
And I can't fault you for feeling the way you do, Bridge, because you're representing a voice of millions of U Mumba fans that absolutely love their Kabaddi. Vocal fans, but fans who wear their hearts on their sleeves.
1 plus 2, 3 points, U Mumba. All in.
This
Haryana
is
Steelers.
brilliant. What a start to the second half for U Mumba. Is there a twist in the tail? This is one heck of a 2-minute passage of play. It was 30-15.
Don't
They
jinx it.
picked up 8 points
Don't jinx it, they're
in
coming back.
2.5 minutes, including the all-out. You only get 1 chance to build a team home. Kabaddi will give you many more chances. Now, we haven't seen Vishal much in action in the second half. He exploded, ripped the defense of U Mumba. In the first half, what can he do? Pretty destructive, this lad, in the little we've seen, and he continues.
Redder safe,
Strong
1
unit,
point,
this.
Haryana Steelers.
You know, suddenly the infusion of Jai
Jersey number
Bhagwan
99 out.
onto the mat has made a difference to U Mumba. So, right, you were saying, please continue, Navneet.
I was just saying that it's hard for me to answer this because, you know, when a season is plagued with so many injuries, it's tough for you to really assess what a team brings to the table. Rinku was obviously sent for that surgery. Shivam, Girish was first injured in the team.
1 point,
Zafar
U Mumba.
Danish had that flu.
Jersey number 11 out.
Vishwa got injured. Pranay Rane injured. We're not even talking about Guman Singh. And
That's true, man.
yeah, so how do you plan, right? When there's a bit of lack of performance and then a lot of injuries, you really don't see the potential of a team. Now, one way to look at it as the management is we enjoyed a 5-match winning streak. We did that against top teams, and mind you, they did do this against some of the top teams that we have in the playoffs. It wasn't against the bottom place teams. So that's one way to look at it if you're looking at the glass half full. The flip side is obviously where you find yourself on the points table as well. So honestly, there is no direct answer to the question that you do have. If they're going to continue with a similar team for the next season, U Mumba,
1 point. Haryana
only time will
Steelers.
tell. But regardless, you're right. It's a tough season for the fans because it's a team with a rich legacy, a team that have ever so often been in the knockout stages, let alone in the finals, and then going on to winning a trophy.
1 point each.
Hang on, look at what they're doing here. The score difference was 15 at half time,
अच्छा वो first out of
and it's
bounds.
down to 9 now. They're trying to push
Redder safe,
through
1
here.
point. U Mumba.
There you go.
Make that 8 now. Okay, I think the ref is searching for somebody. Listen, saying you
Jersey
can't get
number
on my
99,
side.
green card warning. Haryana Steelers jersey pulling.
Green card for jersey pulling.
Raider out. Okay. TV umpire. Haryana Steelers challenge Raider out. Our decision, 1 defender out of bounds, involving struggle, Raider safe. Please review.
Alrighty then, the Haryana Steelers have a review. They may as well use it. It's a straightforward, clear-cut ask. Oh, yes. There is a defender out of bounds. And then he goes into the tackle, which means the Raider is safe.
And they should go in favor of U Mumba.
Yes.
Nice, impactful passage of play for Jai Bhagwan.
Review unsuccessful. Number 99 out. 1 point. U Mumba. Captain, your review is over. No more reviews.
No reviews left for both teams now. A point to U Mumba. That deficit from 15 is down to just 8 in less than 5 minutes. As the Giants warm up in the background.
Raider out.
Sultan Fazalat
1 point to U
Rajali,
Mumba.
who's been absolutely sensational as a defender in recent times. We've seen more Sultan, the defender, than we have for a good part of the season, and that's just fabulous to see. 7 points the difference here.
Have you realized Guman Singh is off the mat? Jai Bhagwan very quietly has worked his way to 4 points.
You can't split these two as far as rating is concerned in this game. Jai Bhagwan just goes down. It was that chain
1 point.
that
Haryana
Naveen
Steelers.
Kundu got in.
Look, you know, I can understand they are behind, they need points, but it's almost like Jai Bhagwan doesn't understand the concept of an empty raid. He just insists on getting a point. And more often than not, that's worked against him this season.
He's probably going with the momentum that he has in this game and not the season. He's picked up 4 from 5 today. Introduced here in the second half. Shivam Patare. How good has he been, Bridge?
Well, through the season, yes. Yesterday, not so much. And even this
Bonus
evening,
point,
it's been
Haryana
Vishal Tate who's been doing the bulk of the scoring. Our Dream 11 game changer contest. Ah,
You
that
like-
blank.
You like the flank, do you?
Where was Rohit Yadav going here?
1 point. Haryana Steelers.
Just like that, that lead is back to 10 points from 7 now. That's the problem, is that you can't afford to let anything go at all when you're trailing by such a big margin. You've got to keep at it for an entire half if you want to make your way back in. Now, Tejas on raid here. A bunch of changes now for the Steelers coming in. Tejas Patil.
I, for one, am truly curious to see the Dream 11 game changer of the match, the best seats in the house. Listen, there's no jacket over on there. That's a brave, brave boy. I, for one, am truly curious to see what U Mumba's strategy would be come auction time. Fact remains, it's a, story team, great legacy.
Raider out.
And I'm going to try to just
1
bring a
point,
very
U
different
Mumba.
tangent to this U Mumba conversation that we've been having all match long, right? Bridge, and there's one thing that you can do at an auction table is strategize, plan, and pick up the team that you do. But performance is a whole different thing. Now, I mentioned this in some of the previous games as well. What if Puneri Paltan were where UP Yodhas are on the points table and vice versa?
True.
Right?
Absolutely.
Young team, young captain, they got it wrong. You can't fault them. They tried playing aggressive Kabaddi, didn't work out. They're right at the bottom on the points table. UP Yodha, Pardeep Narwal, Surinder Gill, Sumit, Nitesh. Top team, big names.
Well done.
They had a fabulous season. They're second on the points table. But look how it's turned out, right? Sometimes, well,
That is a great ankle hold in the meanwhile.
from
Did it
Sombi.
all on his own, Sombi.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of sport, is that there's only that much you can plan for, and then performance on the mat, on the field, is a completely different ball game. And sometimes it won't go as per a plan, right? As much as U Mumba have been a disappointment, truth be told, UP Yodhas it's just been abysmal season for them, for the kind of names they have on that lineup. And like I said, Puneri
1
Paltan,
point,
quite
U
the
Mumba.
opposite.
Superb there from Rohit Yadav. Flashes of Zafar Danish's toe touch. Great form there. Fair enough, Navneet. You do make a fair point. Yeah, what if the Puneri Paltan strategy had backfired?
Which is why this strategy, and that's why
Okay.
you can't.
Hang on.
You have something to say?
I have to ask you this. Okay. All of that said and done, Surinder as captain, do you think that was the right choice?
Come back to that. Uh-oh, there is an out of bounds over here.
Jai Bhagwan can just go back here. He can just go back here. He has the point.
2 points, U Mumba.
He does. A lot of U Mumba supporters' hearts stop beating overtly fast. That's 2 points to Jai Bhagwan. They inch closer to the Haryana Steelers. This is our Patanjali special Chavanpras strategic timeout number 2, the last one for this game. We'll see you on the other side.
देख तू टाइगर है मेरा, ओके? अब करना क्या है पता है? दिल खोल के रेड कर, जहाँ तेरा दिल करता है। हीरो है तू, हीरो, ओके? इस टीम की जान है ना? पॉइंट स्कोर देना जैसे विशाल ने दिए बेटे, कुछ भी नहीं है, कुछ भी नहीं है, ओके? 100% स्कोर आएगा। बोनस जाते बोनस छोड़ेंगे और बोनस लेके जो तेरा जी करे वहाँ रेड करना, प्रेशर मत लेना, ओके? जा। रखो, हाँ, मेरे साथ भीतर रखो, हाँ, तेरी उल्टा ले लो आप। पानी दे, भाई, ये देख जल्दबाजी ना करो ये, ठीक है ना? 2 का स्कोर रह गया, कुल अपनी 2 की लीड रहेगी, ओके? अब जल्दबाजी नहीं। वो आदमी टच नहीं मारता, हाँ, कोई नहीं। उसको बोनस नहीं करनी आती एक को।
Alrighty, end of the Patanjali special Chavanpras strategic timeout. U Mumba have actually done fantastically well. Navneet, they're just 5 away.
Listen, it was 15, 10 minutes ago. It's 5 now. Hopefully we're on to something from U Mumba's perspective. Sumit there, eagerly awaiting his turn. They'll be on the mat, the Yodhas, against the Giants. Quick look at the Dream 11 starting 7. Maipal, Gagan Gowda and Kulvi Singh. So that's a new name as far as raid is concerned for the Yodhas. Ashu, Harendra, Hitesh and Sumit. So no changes in the defense. Kartik Dahiya, Sonu and Nitin, the third raider. No Rakesh Hedges. Deepak Singh, Manoj, the Sultan and Balaji.
UP Yodhas too majorly affected by Surinder Gill's injury. Pardeep, really wasn't the Pardeep of yore. Fazal Atrachali, 483 tackle points. That's
absurd.
Yeah. Do you think he dreams of ankles?
Look at that. Look at that orange bar on the right of your screen. Completely one-sided, that third passage of play. That's why U Mumba are back in this. Exactly what the Steelers did to them in the second passage of play. Complete reversal there. Now, they could further narrow this gap because there's only one man standing, Ghanshyam Magga for the Steelers. Give him the bonus, now take him down. Don't concede a point, it's these little moments.
Calm down, stay away. It's an inexperienced defense. Well, apart from Sombir on the right there. Can they be calm? Ghanshyam Magga has license to go absolutely nuts, which he does!
Bonus plus point, Haryana Steelers.
You hear that sound? That's the sound of a U Mumba fan's heart breaking.
Ali Reza Mirzain going in.
22, 14,
and Ghanshyam
out.
goes back.
Yes,
they
please.
love it, and why not? Because it's these critical moments. You win the small moments, sometimes that'll help you win matches.
But I tell you that apart, you know, the smiles on the faces of the big boys for the Haryana Steelers, it clearly shows that all is well in that camp. They are happy, they are well placed in their minds.
It's a good bunch of boys that are enjoying each other's company, enjoying each other's success. And why not? Because it's happy times. They won 4 on the trot. They've booked their spot in the playoffs. What is Jai Bhagwan doing? Listen, you're out of here. Go, because I can continue my raid.
The clock, Jai Bhagwan, keep an eye on the clock. Finally.
2 + 2, 4 points.
You were talking about Jai Bhagwan not doing the job, Rich. Look at what he's done.
I apologize. I take my words back. Forever, at least a season and a half.
A 4-pointer, including the all-out. Jai Bhagwan
Substitution.
is in a mood.
Haryana Steelers.
Quite a different one from what the season has been like.
14-22 in.
The first 2 all-outs came from the Steelers. The next 2 have come from U Mumba. Manpreet doesn't like it. The Steelers don't. Pulling his hair apart. Now look at the scoreline. You only get 1 chance to build a dream home. Kabaddi will give you many more chances. It's a 3-point game. It's game on.
This is a massive, massive comeback from U Mumba here. And look at that. They have 10 points more than the Haryana Steelers in the last 10 minutes. And now they're trying to be far too clever than they should. I mean, that was not on at all.
Adrenaline. I think it was Rohit Yadav.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, you don't need to do that, Rohit. They need you on raid.
Rohit Yadav should have thought of the difference in size between him and Vishal Tate.
Boy, muscular. Much like the Maninder Singh build. Vishal. Now Jai Bhagwan, he's been the man of the moment, the man of the hour. 7 in 8. A little more sensible. More maturity. This is nice.
Bonus plus one possibly.
1 point.
Okay, it's just a 1-touch point, but U Mumba are within touching distance. They're just 3 points away from the Haryana Steelers. Jai Bhagwan has turned it on in this game. You know, Jai Bhagwan just seemed to me, even though like a Raider wouldn't think too much, but just like a bomb waiting to explode. He's like a ticking time bomb. I mean, on his day, he can decimate teams, man.
This is fantastic. Suddenly, U Mumba's defense coming to the party. Then they look like a very different team. They're firing on both sides of the mat now. For a good part of the game, they just had the 1 or 2 tackle points. That's raised to 7 now.
So while the game has really heated up, question, Surinder Singh, right choice for captain.
I was just hoping that you didn't go back to that one.
Yeah, I knew you were dodging it, man.
Well, he's like...
Is he the right choice to captain himself?
He's like a cat on a hot tin roof, isn't he? Wow, Surinder Singh.
Also, he had the added responsibility of translating for the rest of the team what the coach had been saying.
Was that the one that he took more pressure for than captaining the U Mumba team? And just a quick recap of who our champions have been over the seasons. Patna Pirates 3, 4 and 5. The Bulls in 6. The Warriors in 7. Dabang Delhi, KC Courtesy, Naveen in 8. And the Panthers got their hands on the title yet again.
But I'll tell you something, since we've spoken of Surinder, I was returning from, I forget which venue, when U Mumba were on that winning streak of theirs. And we met the Mumba team at the airport. Our colleague Mantra and I, the 26th of February are the eliminators, the 28th, the semi-finals, 1st of March, the finals. Now, we met them at the airport, and they were bubbling over, man. They were clapping, laughing, joking, clicking photographs. And you remember at that point, even when they used to lose a point, they wouldn't be stressed. Suddenly, it all fell apart for them. I mean, this can be a very, very cruel sport, Navneet.
And it doesn't help when it's a 3-month-long season, Bridge. It's tough when you don't have it going your way, when you're going through a long streak of losses. How do you pull yourself up, right? And that's why the body language in some sense is understandable. You've got to feel for them as athletes. You want to win every time you step on. Oh, that is a very decisive tackle coming in from Harsh.
Really great work from the Haryana Steelers defense here. They let the clock run down. It was a do-or-die raid. There was no bonus on. And this is a Manpreet special. I mean, he's been known for his defenses.
But just in addition to what we were talking about, I have to say yes, though. In December, if there was one team where you could just sense that there were a happy camp, the camaraderie was U Mumba for sure.
Let her out.
They were a happy
1 point,
bunch of
U
boys
Mumba.
enjoying themselves on the Kabaddi mat. Suddenly things turned, and how quickly.
Wait.
Really good from Shivansh here.
It's only the third time Vishal has been taken down in 17 efforts. That's how good he's been. If the Steelers do win, they'll go to fourth on the table, just past the Pirates, and the Giants will also go down. Oh, he goes down, Jai Bhagwan.
1 point. Haryana Steelers.
Naveen Kundu, his first. Hang on. Naveen Kundu has a high five here. I mean, look at that. You have yet another defender for the Haryana Steelers coming on and casually scoring a high five. Harsh has 4 tackle points on the night. Monu Huda has 3.
Suddenly what Manpreet is building is a serious pool of top resources.
You know, but that's what he meant when he said that I really don't need my Raiders to bring me, you know, a bushel full of points because my defense is doing the work it's supposed to.
They average close to 14 tackle points a game. They're the second best defensive unit behind Puneri Pult and the Steelers.
29 in.
3 points the difference. He's breathtaking to watch when in full flow, the Sultan.
You know, the Sultan has said in an interview just, I think the game previous, he said, what I love about my coach Ram Meher is that he's told me you go and do whatever you want.
At the moment, Ali Reza isn't allowed to do what he
1
wants.
point. Haryana
Once
Steelers.
again, a defense of the Steelers in unison take Ali Reza down. Look at that. Top quality double thigh hold from Monu Huda from the right corner.
And that is Monu Huda's 4th tackle point of the night. The Haryana Steelers have 13 tackle points at this point, and U Mumba have just 8. And that's been the difference.
It's been a half that's completely belonged to U Mumba. They've picked up 23 points versus only the 12 that the Steelers have gotten. But still, they could fall short. It's only because of the disastrous first half. Now, Ashish. Saurabh Parthe in raid. He's quick. But he can't go below the chain.
1 point.
Oh,
Haryana
Naveen
Steelers.
Kundu once again.
Bahubali likes it. Naveen Kundu, how brilliant has he been this evening?
Time out, U Mumba.
5 points. That's the difference. 1 minute and 20 to go. A super raid is what U Mumba needs. This is what's coming up next. The UP Yoddhas take on the Sultans, Gujarat Giants. The UP Yoddhas are bowed out. The Gujarat Giants have a Q against their name. Do you think the Gujarat Giants will play their top 7?
I'm just curious. You seem to think that I have a lot of these answers this evening.
Do or die raid. Haryana Steelers.
I'm asking you because I don't.
I'm curious on what's your take on the Surinder Singh question? Before we get done with this game, 70 seconds left, Rich. The next 2 games for the Steelers, the Pulton on Monday is a big one, and then the Bulls on Wednesday. Well, I allow Vijay Shirji to think through that. Oh, no. No, come on, U Mumba. You've done so well to get back in this game. Don't let it slip. It's a 2-pointer to Ghanshyam Magar.
My take on the Surinder Singh question, was he good choice for captain? Yes, he was.
All right, we'll come back to a little more of a detailed answer when we next have U Mumba on the mat for their final game of the season. But for now, I think it's just a point of no return for U Mumba here. 7 points the deficit with only 40 on the clock.
Everyone, it's great to see what a young player is doing here. Ghanshyam Magar. Jai Bhagwan would have done exactly the opposite.
Come on, spare the young fella.
I'm telling you, Ghanshyam Magar
8
knows
points from 11 raids.
they're winning the game. He just lets the clock run down and he comes back, doesn't need to do it. Do we see a super raid here? Give us one super raid. That's quick.
1 point, U Mumba.
Shivansh
99 out.
Thakur. Still time for one more raid.
6 points, the difference. Pretty chilly there in Panchkula. But nothing. That's too cold for Ghanshyam Magar to make it count.
91 out.
That's his 6th point in 10 efforts.
And who tried that dash?
Oh boy.
Just the player we were speaking of, Jai Bhagwan. You can't fault him for trying. The final raid of the game. U Mumba eventually lose by 6. But they did really, really well to come back in the second half. Something to take away for them at the end of the season.
A 6-point win for the Haryana Steelers. They make it 2-2 in front of their home crowd. And the headline of Saturday evening is Vishal Tate with a massive Super 10. They're well on their way to occupying the 3rd position on the points table, the Haryana Steelers.
So the Haryana Steelers advance on the points table. The Patna Pirates drop down. Now if the Gujarat Giants win the next game, the Patna Pirates will be at 6. What a great feeling it must be for a young player to suddenly come into the game and score a massive, he had what, 15 points this evening, Vishal Tate.
He joins Rakesh Kumar, who scored 15 points in season 1 on debut. Only Suraj Desai scored more in a debut game. 18 points in season 7.
Yeah.
And Vishal Tate is in great company alongside Rakesh Kumar.
There you go. The Haryana Steelers have moved up to 4. Now look at this very, very carefully. Dabang Delhi have a game in hand. The Steelers have 2. Dabang Delhi can go to 79, but the Steelers can go to 80 if they win both of those, which means they can be at 3 on the points table. Psychologically huge.
Absolutely. And that's what they look to doing in front of their home crowd, but they'll have it tough against Puneri Paltan day after tomorrow, that's for sure. A 6-point win for the Steelers. And spare a thought for U Mumba. They really came back in this game. Fantastic second half, but it wasn't meant to be. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, the Yodhas against the Giants. all ready for the second game of our Saturday evening agenda. And the Sultan is in the house. The Gujarat Giants taking on the UP Yodhas. 3 wins on the trot, a hat-trick of wins coming into this game for Coach Ram Meher's men. And the Sultan has just looked mighty impressive in recent times. Dream 11 starting 7. It's the big boy who's been very impactful in recent times. Partik Dahiya, Deepak Singh and Balaji in the covers. Sonu and Nitin as their third raider. They do have plenty of raiding options. And it's an interesting one that they go with this evening. Manuj in the right corner and the Sultan Fazal Atrachali in the left. Make your team. You might want to have Partik Dahiya, the Sultan Fazal Atrachali. And contrasting fortunes, the UP Yodhas 4 losses in the last 5 matches. Navneet Krishna here, continuing in the com box, this time with Stalin Matthias.
Very good evening, Navneet. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, at the UP Yodhas, they're going in with their starting 7. Mahipal right in the center, alongside Ashu Singh and Harendra Kumar, the right and left cover combination for them. Gagana Gowda is back in alongside Gulveer Singh. Remember, Gagana Gowda has been one of the A's. They're bringing the points for them. Hitesh and Sumit, the right corner and the left corner combination here. The eyes will be on Sumit. Remember to make your teams. And an important mix here. It's going to be an interesting game, but remember, we're looking at Sumit. He's going to be an interesting player to watch out for. 60 tackle points with him already. He'll be marshalling the troops today. And on the other side, we have Sultan Fazal Atrachali, our Dream 11 player to watch out for. Iranian power, always ready to tower. He'll want to get go.
Here are the top 6 teams that have made it to the playoffs. And the latest team to enter the top 6 are the Haryana Steelers. They currently find themselves in 4th position after today's win. They qualified just yesterday and they're well on their march up. They can make it to as high as 3rd on the table. But should the Giants win now, they level the Steelers on points. And there's a nice little contest brewing there. Coach Jasveer Singh, you got to feel for him. It's been a really tough 2.5 months for him and the boys in the Yodhas camp. Not that bad for Ram Meher though. Yodhas winning the toss, the Giants to raid first.
Line drawn. Game on. Kabaddi.
All right then, we've already seen a great encounter between the two sides right before this. Home team getting a win, the Giants are back in action. Facing the UP Yodhas, straight up you have Sonu Jaglan in action. Coming in from the right side. Tries that kick, tries that acrobatic move. Keep your eyes on Sumit. Sonu Jaglan's been brilliant throughout the season. He's got his opportunities. Once again today, an evening for him to perform, try something different. A slow start, however. Cannot forget to mention the defensive need for the Giants. Hasn't been brilliant this season.
It has been an area of concern. Even Sonu Jaglan, well, he was brilliant, I think, in passage, particularly the first week or so was a dream start to the season. Super sub, we called him Sonu sub. Oh, that is nice. A defensive progress of Deepak Singh. He's had some special nights this season. But once again, they've been up and down, the Giants' defense. To your question, Stalin.
No bonus, Raider out, 1 point Gujarat Giants.
And I think, yes, that's a very good call. No bonus on that occasion.
First going inside.
You have to get over the bonus line completely. On that occasion, there was a line cut there, so no bonus given. Gujarat Giants had that 1 point. Partik Dahiya, another fabulous revelation. Fantastic mix there from coach Ramher Singh between Sonu and Pratik, maneuvering his Raiders. They've bought the points this season, 22 matches, 108 points for him. Here he comes once again, and he gets through. That's the start you will see from Pratik Daya. Multi-point rate to begin with for him.
He gave them the impression of going towards that bonus, got two of the defenders from the right side of the defense coming towards him, and then using his height and his muscle to good effect, Pratik Dahia. And he's had a bunch of multi-point raids in the recent few matches. They're enjoying a 3-match winning streak against the Bengal Warriors, the Bengaluru Bulls and the Tamil Talaivas over the last 3 matches. Now Nitin, we haven't seen much of him though, and the Yodhas reduced to 4.
Keeps moving around here, Nitin. In the 7 matches that he's played, he's just got those 16 points. And that's very important. You see, in the Gujarat Giants, you have contributions from Raiders who are coming in. Just those 7 matches, he's tried to be handy. They're an entire pack here. There is the bonus available for Gulveer Singh. Where does the point come from for you? How do you try and bring it? You go towards Fazal, you have to be careful. Got that iron-clad grip. The defense you speak about, Sombir and Fazal, that combination, that partnership has been brilliant. No Sombir today at the right corner. Any surprises for you, Navneet?
Well, surprise. Well, yes and no, I think, because it's a combination that's worked, yes, because Sombir has 51 tackle points, Fazal has 59. The corners are really a big part as to why they're in the playoffs. But they are in the playoffs, and, well, in some sense, like a lot of the other teams, Salin, just you might want to rest some of the big boys. Make sure that there aren't any more injuries. Save them for the big games coming up. Give the boys a long breather. It's been a long season. Do or die radio. Oh, be careful. You don't want to go outside yourself, Balaji.
Bonus point, UP Yodhas.
Bonus point to Mahipal, and the tackle point to the Giants.
The Giants take command with that fantastic dash from Balaji. He executes that in the right manner. Fazal Atrachali is there, making sure he keeps Balaji inside. And I love the way he marshals the troops and speaks to the boys as well. Meanwhile, the officials just will discuss something. There's a line out if there's anything that they've seen.
Right corner, if below golf,
waiting to rectify that. Remember, they're down to 3 defenders now, the UP Yodhas.
Second man coming title.
They have a raw super tackle opportunity. Pratik Daya has been sent in. Fazal Atrachali, as usual, has spoken those few beautiful words.
He has little nuggets every time just before the Raiders go in. Words of wisdom from the experienced campaigner. Pratik Daya pays the price. A raw super tackle to the Yodhas. Magar ki Jakar.
That's certainly the start they wanted. UP Yodhas have got a multi-point from a raw super tackle. They needed that, much needed. And you look at that partnership that's been brewing for the Gujarat Giants. Fazal Atrachali along with Ramher Singh, that partnership coming back together. It has certainly been a magic